As you can see, we have an image here with numerous layers. Kind of easy to follow. It says title here, and so there's the title right there. Main menu, where it says main menu, is right here. The play button, there's the play button. What you're seeing going on here is you've got some arrows. If I click on the arrow and scroll down, you can see that there are multiple play buttons or copies of them, and what's going on in this particular instance is there's one for each country. So right now the US one is enabled. I could hide that one and then turn this one on, and here we are looking at play in French. So we'll go ahead and turn this one off. There we go. So that's just a little bit about selecting the various layers. So what I want to work on right now is let's go to foreground, and you can see in the foreground we actually have pencils, and as I click on these different objects you can see by the handles how big that object is, what it consists of on the screen. I'm going to click on border this time, and you can see here's the border area, which is actually the whole screen. So let's play around with that. Let's just grab actually I can just grab it and start to drag it, you can see, and it's a border because it's actually as you can see it's very rough around the edges. So let's click on background here and help us. Let's move the background away, and then we'll click on border again, and you can see here that how the two of these are actually coming together and how easily it is for me to move them around and manipulate them. When I go ahead and click to resize, as you can see the resize handle, you can check it out up on top here where you can affect the actual size of the object and type it in if you wanted, or as I'm dragging to resize it, you can see here that the height here is changing and the percentage for the Y is changing over there. Same thing is true obviously if I make it narrower. We're affecting the X and the width. So pretty easy to figure out what's going on there. There's a nice little feature here called history. So this is basically your undo, and of course I could go edit and undo, or step forward and step backwards. But the nice thing to do here is you can actually see all of the edits that you've done and just go back in time to a particular point and move it from there, or I should say undo it from there. Right now it's beeping at me as I try to click on these. It's not responding. So that's basically because I have to hit escape to get out of that selection mode, and so now I can go back and undo these various moves, and I can even go back forward actually and reapply them if I want. And so there we are, right back to the beginning. Once I have an object selected, I can actually apply different things to it. So I just right clicked on it right now. Let's go ahead and click off of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is you can see that it's got the drag handles because we did click on that layer. Okay, and what we're going to do right now, oh, we want to go back to play. I'm on the wrong one. And so let's see here, play button, US, and we're going to do edit, transform, scale, or we can just do Control T for free transform. And when I do that, now before I do it, I want you to see this. I'm going to right click and you can see my options here. But if I get off of that and do Control T, you can see how the handles change. And now when I right click, I actually get various options that I can do in terms of rotating, scale, skewing, warping, flipping it. So a lot different options. The same options I got up here when I went to edit, transform. You can see those same things listed here. So just right click and choose rotate, for instance, and there we just rotated it. Flip it horizontally, vertically, and to apply those changes what I'd have to do is hit enter, and now I've actually applied the change, and you see it showing up in the history, free transformation. So I could undo this just by clicking on edit type layer. Now if I went in here, oops, let's do a Control T again, and let's rotate it again. and I say, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Instead of hitting enter, I can hit escape, which is like the undo button. We can also come over here and click on the A over here and open up the character and paragraph panel, and that makes it nice to go ahead and manipulate the actual text itself. So if I click inside of here, first of all I have to click the text tool, and so now I can go inside of here and I can start to highlight it, certain characters, and apply various typical text changing things like changing the font and the size and the point. And if you had a bunch of text, a bunch of lines of text, you could obviously affect how the paragraph appears. And up in here, up in the title bar, you can see that I also have control of some of those same features as well. And we don't want to apply these, so we're just going to escape out, and if we go up to our history, you can see that they weren't applied. Just click inside here as if we're going to modify the text, and just right click. You can see you've got a nice context right click menu here with paste. You've got spell checking, find and replace text in case you had a lot of text in this text box. So all kinds of nice little effects. Haven't even played with this one here yet. I'm not sure what it would do. Oh, it just little special effects. Looks like it warped it right there. So to undo this, we can't really hit enter, because if we hit enter, it just brings us down to another line. So if you look up here, there's a check mark, and if we do this, this is how you accept it. And so there you can see in our history that we've edited, and you can actually see it right here, and we've saved our changes. So let's undo what we just did there. Let's undo that. Okay, and so now let's go in and make sure we're on play here, and we're going to switch to our selection tool. I want to drag this window up, and if I click over here, you can see I've got hover over here, the FX, add a layer style. So we're going to go ahead and do a gradient overlay. And I click over here on my gradients, and you can see it's already applied a gradient, and so I can actually just kind of pick different gradient presets, if you will. And I've also got others that aren't showing up in here. If I click this little arrow here, these are actually different gradient libraries. I've already loaded some of them, like metals. I've loaded, I don't think I've done simple. Let's see, append, and looks like simple's been loaded down here now as well. So it's kind of cool. You can go ahead and play around with these little paint containers and move things around and change the colors where they're actually taking effect at. We'll click OK. And if I decide I want to change that again, I can just go over here and open up the effects thing again. Just double click it, and here we are. We go down to overlay and click on this and change it, and there we go. It's that easy. And to accept those changes, I can hit enter, and that has accepted those changes. Now let's go ahead and bring this window back down now until I get off of all of this. So we're going to add a layer actually, and then we're going to go up here to edit and then fill, or shift F5, and we'll leave it here at gray, and just click OK. And you can see now that we've got this gray here, and if I uncheck the layers thing, you can see it goes away. And we'll just go ahead and resize it, and let's drag this over into the middle, and now I can actually hit enter to apply that transformation, and then I can hit the FX for an effect. I can go into gradient, and I can choose my gradients and begin to create whatever gradient fill that I want. So just like I did with the text, I can actually just create a little background box, if you will, of gradient.